Hello, 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 everyone. And just like that, the market for first-time home buyers has completely changed. And I hate to say it, but I told you so. Let's go ahead and get started. My name is Stephen Meade. I am the broker of record here at Domicile Real Estate, where we are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. And this week, things have both gotten easier and a bit tougher. I'm going to jump right into the stats and tell you how. So this is a very interesting time of year. And why is it an interesting time of year? Let's see if we've got if our screen share feels like working here. It feels like being a pain in the butt. I think I know why. Let me fix that real quick. All righty. Let's give this one more go. There we go. All right. We have a lot of things going on in the market right now. Why is it weird? Well, it's a little weird for a couple of reasons. One, there are finally some signs that there might be a recession, at least coming, even if it's a small one. So you've got that going. We're in an election year, which has been, let's be honest, a pretty crazy election year. I think people feel like the ground is very uncertain. That's always an interesting market for home buying. And then we have the events of the last 2 weeks where interest rates basically really the market just did a 180 and changed on the bond market. And we've seen dramatic reductions in interest rates. So let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. Now, remember, we're starting off with closed prices. This is unfortunately that look in the rearview mirror, especially at this moment in time. I think this is pretty much useless. This data does not matter to you if you're a first-time home buyer right now. Now, we do see that the prices are down a little bit, and our monthly payment, this one still matters. Why? Because we are basing this on present interest rates. So if we look at this here, you can see that from peak numbers, right, that total payment has come down from $6,800. That payment on that entry-level single-family home, even with 5% down, is now $6,460. That's a car payment, right? That's a lease on a new Ioniq 5 EV, right? I mean, that's definitely something significant. We've seen even more dramatic shift here in the condos. Now, you might be thinking, this is great news. And this is good news. If you are a buyer who's been on the sidelines and you felt like, geez, these interest rates, they just suck. Well, I've got good news for you. They've gotten significantly better in the last few weeks. If we look at our minimum household income, even that number looks a little bit better. And really, you'll see why the market's been so stable, because it's been trending in that same range. Condo market, you're even in a better position than the single family home. But now let's get to the part that is interesting, because low interest rates do two things. One, they certainly lower the payment, right? They also, especially under $1 million, reductions in interest rates bring buyers in off the sidelines. Now, in higher price ranges, it's really a different story. In a higher price range, you're going to find that buyers simply adjust where their top dollar is based on interest rates, right? Like maybe they were willing to go to 1.5 on that move-up house. If rates are high now, they can only go to 1.4, right? And if rates drop, their new high price is 1.5 again. But for first-time home buyers, this isn't a what kind of a house you're going to buy question. Interest rates really determine whether you're going to buy at all. And so guess what we are already starting to see? We're starting to see a bounce back in that absorption rate. And I think after this weekend, you're really going to see that number jump up. I think as soon as that information about the low rates is disseminated in the market, it's really going to pull first-time home buyers off the sidelines. If we look at our total inventory, this is another little bit of a perfect storm. Inventory is, if you're looking at entry-level single-family homes, it's about 50% higher than it was a year ago. If you are looking, or it's actually, sorry, it is 33% higher, and it is a little over 50% higher if you're looking at condos, right? So inventory is definitely up, but really, where were we coming from? Really low inventory points. If we look at our 14-day still active, that has stabilized, and I think we are going to see that number begin to drop. Now, there is a counteracting force to some of this, right? Like a lot of this sounds like doom and gloom. If you're a buyer on the sidelines, on one hand, rates are down. Bad news is, I think competitive bidding, especially for the good houses, is going to be back. Obviously, depending on your market, your segment, area, etc. But I also think that, we do have this presidential election. We've got some other things that are kind of going on, back to school. So it's going to be interesting to see how these work out. But to me, the writing's on the wall. I think people have been waiting so long for interest rate drops. There is so much pent up demand. People who said, when interest rates drop, I will jump back into the market. And I think in the next couple of weeks, many of those buyers are going to jump back into the market. And then finally, we have our week supply of homes, right? This is a relative measure of home inventory. Now, the good news is it's still a relatively high number, 10 weeks on condos and almost 7 weeks here on single family homes. But look, both of these numbers are dropping. Read the tea leaves. I think this is a market that is about to get more competitive. I think when it comes down to back to school, presidential election, and interest rates, I think interest rates are going to be the dominant force in this entry level buy segment. So definitely don't want to say I told you so. Or for the last few weeks, when I've been saying, hey, there have been some good deals, you should try to go out there. Interest rates are only temporary. I meant it, because now we're seeing a situation where I think we're going to see some heightened and increased demand. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. If you are someone who would like to become a homeowner, or someone who you think should be, definitely either reach out to us yourselves or send those people our way. We would love to work with them here in Southern California. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we will see you again real soon.